Good morning. Hey there, it's Kathy with Be Creative with Kathy, and today I have a really cute project for you. Look, I call it a slider candy bar, because when you pull on the ribbon, a candy bar slides up out of that cute little packaging. And so Amy, a friend of mine, she's Be Creative. No, I'm Be Creative with Kathy. She's just a little ink. You can see her on YouTube, and I believe she has a Facebook group here. But she gave me this one, and I tore it apart. You can see how I used it to get the measurements a long time ago. But I keep making them. I think it's a great idea. So thanks, Amy, for sharing. That's just a little ink. If you want to find some more of her videos on YouTube, she's a great demonstrator and a wonderful friend. But so let me show you how to make these little candy slider candy bars, whatever. Okay, set this aside. We're going to start, first of all, with a piece of cardstock. And now mine is real red, and this one is 6.5 square. And then I have a scrap here of, well, it's not a scrap, I have a piece of designer series paper, and that's that Heartwarming Hugs. There you go, Heartwarming Hugs designer series paper. This one I believe is 5 3/4 by 2.5. But if you need the measurements, I would go onto my blog, Be Creative with Kathy. Give me just a few minutes after the video, and I'll have the measurements on my blog. I have a scrap here of real red. This I believe is 2 1/8 by 3 1/4. And then I did take my Stitch So Sweetly dies, and I cut out a little piece of basic white here with one of those stitches. And when you do this card, if you decide to do something like this, you'll have to decide what you want to put on front of there to see what size of frame or what size scallop you need, so what size paper. But anyway, that's what I use. So if you do the exact same thing I do, there's your measurements. Okay, so we need to score this piece of 6 by 6 cardstock. I'm going to use my Simply Scored today because I have my little measurements up here all set. And now I want to make a bunch of these, and that's why the Simply Scored's all ready. I can just cut a bunch of 6 by 6 paper and come and throw it in here. So I'm going to score it at 3/4 of an inch, and then 1 inch, and then I'm going to score it at 3 3/4 and 4 inches. And now if you have a different size candy bar, you have to measure your candy bar and figure out. But for those little ones, the candy bars that look like this, I got mine at Walmart, and I think I saw them at Safeway too, probably King Soopers. I don't know, I've seen them all over, but these measurements fit for that. So then I'm going to score, I'm going to fold on my score line. I need to slow down because, man, I had a really busy, hectic morning, and then trying to get my video, and I'm in rush mode, and I need to relax and go back to crafting mode, which is way funner than rush mode. There we go. Fold on all 4 of those little score lines. There we go. So then you have something that looks like this. Then I'm going to lay my candy bar in there and fold the shorter side over, and I'm going to put some liquid glue right along that edge. And now remember, when you're using the liquid glue, a little bit goes a long way. So just a tiny bit, because I want to make sure that I don't get any glue on my candy bar. And then just fold that over so it's snug, but it's not too tight, so it looks just about right. Make sure that's all fold on there. Let's take the candy bar out and see if I got any glue on there, which I didn't, so there I did really good. Put my glue away so I don't get a mess. And then with our detailed trio punch, it has this little circle here. I don't know if you can see it. There it is, the circle right here. I'm going to put my cardstock, now that it's already folded, and I'm going to shove it in there just like that. Make sure it's centered in there, and you can tell by the little tag or little notches here on the side. I don't know if you, there you can see them. Both pieces in there, and then I'm going to just punch that hole in there. And now it's perfect. You can see the hole goes through just right, just how we need it. Yay. And then with some ribbon, I'm using the sheer ribbon. It's in real red just to match my cardstock. And I'm going to put that. And I think in my measurements, I put on there 16 inches, but I'm not going to cut my ribbon until I put my candy bar in there, and then I know exactly how many inches I need, and there won't be any waste. So you could do it that way, or you could cut it the 16 inches, whichever. But now that I have, see my ribbon is through both sides, I'm going to slip my candy bar in there. And I'm making sure, maybe I'm going to put my candy bar in there. Yes, I am. Making sure that this is the back of my box and this is the back of my candy bar. So I'm going to keep the front nice and pretty. And I'm going to make sure I'm hanging on to this piece of ribbon back here so it doesn't completely slide like back through. And then I'll pull this a little bit and try to get these about where I want them. Make sure my candy bar's not showing. And then just for a quick test, you can pull and look how you pull that ribbon and the candy bar comes right out. Isn't that cool? Yay. Okay, so then I'm going to pull, I think that looks about good. I'm going to trim that ribbon down. And then using this, what's this called? This, whoop, Simply Elegant trim. I'm going to use this gold. And I'm going to tie a double knot here, making sure I leave enough room because I want to tie a bow later. But I'm going to tie a double knot here at the top of my ribbon. Let me make this one a little bit longer so I make sure I have enough for my bow. Like that. And I'm not going to worry about where my knot is at because I'll show you how we can fix it later. But I'm going to tie once. And then twice, and now I have that nice double knot so it won't come untied if it happens, I can retie it. And then you can slip your knot down by just pulling those two apart. Let's test our candy bar. Yep, we're still in good shape. We'll tie a little bow up here. And really, when you give the thing away, they're not going to be like, oh, look, her ribbon isn't perfect. They're going to be, look how cute the little project is with the sliding candy bar in there. So really nothing has to be perfect on these projects because they're so stinking cute. And perfection is not as cute as some might think it is. Okay, so there's my bow. Let's trim these off. We're almost, look how fast a project this is. Once you get all your paper cut, well, the stamping is probably what takes forever, but there you go. So there's your candy bar. So let me show you how I decorated it. Like I said, I took that piece of designer series paper and I'm going to decorate it now that my candy bar's in there and it's nice and flat. I'm going to just put some adhesive on the back of my designer series paper. And this is cut so that it has a little bit of room. Now if you wanted to, although I don't know if my punch could go through all 3 layers, you could put your designer series paper all the way to the top and punch through all of them. But this way I left it room so it could wiggle up there and I could only have the 2. I don't know if that made any sense. And I know that you've seen, if you watch my videos, you know that with the Be Jolly stamp set, I like to take a bunch of them and cut them out. So here I have all my little pieces and parts and colored, and if you're interested in what colors I used all of these Stampin' Blends. Now you can see a full list below in the description if you're on YouTube. If you're on Facebook, you have to click on the link and go to my blog, Be Creative with Kathy, and you can see the list there. But I've colored, let me find a cute little Santa, there he is. Little Santa here. I'm going to stamp down here with this little ho 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 from the Perfectly Plaid stamp set using some real red ink. Let me get my pad too here. I'm going to put my Pierce mat under my paper so it has a nice cushion with that photopolymer stamp. And a little bit of ho 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 right here at the bottom. I think he's straight. I'm going to let that ink sink into the paper just a little bit. Oh yeah, look how cute that is. I think the little ho 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 with the Santa is just perfect. Okay, put some dimensionals. Well, no, first I'm going to go ahead and layer this onto my red piece. And I gave it just a itty bitty border here. I think it's going to turn out really cute. On the back of my Santa Claus, I'm going to put a couple dimensionals. Like that. And then a couple dimensionals on the back of him. I think that my nieces and nephews are going to think this is pretty cool. Although I have several ideas for my nieces and nephews, I have to decide which one do I want to make for them. But I like to give them just a little bit of money, and this way it would be a nice gift wrapping. And let me show you what I'm talking about in just a second. So then I have these itty bitty pom-poms, and I can't even tell you, I've had them forever, because look, you get a gazillion in there. But I'm going to just take some of that liquid glue and put a little pom-pom here at the top of his hat, just to give it a little bit more. And look how cute that is. You pull on that ribbon and that candy bar comes out. But let me show you, so I did a couple other ones. I have this little Santa one. I think that's the one I showed you in the beginning. But then, if you're careful, you can put the money in before you put the ribbon in, so with the candy bar, and you can put a little bit of money in there, and that's how I'm going to do my nieces and nephews for Christmas. So I hope they don't watch my video. And then on this one, I did add a little bit of that crystal shimmery effects onto the tree, just to give it a little bit of bling too. So there you go. There's my project today. I think they've turned out really cute. Thank you, Amy, for the idea in their first place. I hope you'll try the sliding candy bars. Let me know what you think. And I don't know. I think they're really cute. All right, so have a great weekend. And if you happen to live in Denver, Colorado, you can go to the Elks there at like 23rd and Federal. It's just a little bit east of there. And I'm having a craft fair and lots of vendors there. It's from 10 to 5 p.m. on Saturday and Sunday, the 20th and the 21st. If you have any questions, be sure and let me know. And I'll give you all the information. Thanks for watching. Have a great weekend. Bye-bye.